but I'm going to skip a rate.
About the number?
So far, Missile is the coolest car around in Cars 2. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another week in the Super Summer. This week we're going to talk about a number of films, the first being Cars 2.
How'd you like to come and see the world with me?
You mean it? Sadly, Cars 2 will be remembered as the first Pixar film that is almost universally considered to be bad by the critical community. The reason that this is sad is not because it actually is bad, but because of how totally untrue that is. Much of the criticism here has centered around the character of Mater, voiced by Larry the Cable Guy, and the fact that he takes center stage for most of the show. After screwing up multiple events for his best friend Lightning, played by Owen Wilson, Mater is mistaken for an American spy by Finn McMissile, a British agent voiced by Michael Caine, my favorite character in the Cars world, and he is whisked away into a world way above his league. This leads to a spectacular around-the-world bit of spy fun that is exactly what a movie about talking cars should be. There are really cool action sequences with lots of neat gadgets, and a James Bond fashion style film with big laughs and some of the most gorgeous animation I've ever seen. So this brings us back to Mater. I love Mater. He was my favorite part of the first film, and he's a welcome fish-out-of-water character here. However, I'm apparently in the minority, because the hatred I've read towards Mater is pretty amazing. Now, I want to be clear that I'm no fan of Larry the Cable Guy. I've hated all of his work on television and film. I do not find him to be very talented at all. But I feel that John Lasseter has really figured out how to take what the guy is good at and create fun characters that kids love. And when you put him in a situation like this, you get the perfect blend of action and comedy. So while I rarely feel this way, I hope that you will ignore the general consensus on this one and give it a shot. It's not the best Pixar film by a long shot, but it's a wonderful entertainment that I believe the whole family will enjoy. 3.5 stars for Cars 2.
You excited for tomorrow?
Is tomorrow Saturday?
No, it's the first day of school.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to that.
But it's mandatory.
Ooh.
Bad Teacher is exactly what its title implies. It is a story about the worst teacher you could possibly imagine, doing things that teachers could never possibly get away with. Oh well, it's just a movie, right? Cameron Diaz plays Elizabeth, a trampy school teacher who is trying to get money for a boob job so she can land a rich guy. The rich guy she's after here is Scott Delacourt, played by Justin Timberlake, who is the new teacher in school and totally loaded. However, she will have to make it past the best teacher in school, Amy Squirrel, played by Lucy Punch, who also wants to get her sexy back with Mr. Timberlake. All the while, the pot-smoking gym teacher, Russell, played by Jason Segel, is her perfect man that she just can't be with because he's broke. The casting here is very good, movie is pretty fun and funny at parts, but it's hard to get over how little you care about what happens to Elizabeth. You don't really like her to start with, and in the end she learns lessons that I'm not sure the events of the film really taught her. So, on a whole, this movie is a bit of a balancing act. It attempts to make up for a poorly written story with raunchy situations and some funny jokes. Some of it works, but a lot of it is just bad. 2.5 stars for Bad Teacher. Alright, now that we've talked about what's new in theaters, let's look at what's coming soon. The only competition with Super 8 for top honors this summer, Harry Potter.
Harry, be safe. Be strong.
Harry Potter. You have fought valiantly.
die at the proper moment.
Bring him to me.
Let's find out where he is. If we find him, we can end this.
I say we jump now!
Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries, protect us.
I have to go back, haven't I?
It's a suicide mission. The boy who lived, come to die.
Tell them how it happened that night. How you looked him in the eye. A man who trusted you and killed him.
I never wanted any of you to die for me. You'll stay with me.
Always.
Until the end. Come on, Tom. Let's finish this the way we started.
Together.
Only I can live forever.
Wow. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. Currently, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is Shot and Cut Films' #1 thing to look forward to for the rest of the summer. Next, we're going to talk about what's new on DVD and Blu-ray.
You're that guy running for Senate, aren't you?
I am that guy, yeah.
The first movie out on DVD this week is The Adjustment Bureau, and if there is anything you see this week, this is the movie that you should. Matt Damon and Emily Blunt star as two star-crossed lovers of sorts who seem to not be destined for each other by fate. But they don't care. They love each other more than anything in the world, and they have such electric chemistry that they will stop at nothing to be together. This is a great movie. I highly recommend The Adjustment Bureau.
Get your hands off me!
Next up on DVD this week is Unknown. Liam Neeson stars as yet another kick-ass character who loses his memory and has to figure out what's going on. I am not typically a fan of movies of this particular kind, but this movie does it very well. And with a stunning bit of cinematography by Flavio Labiano, I highly recommend Unknown.
I'm so bummed out! I'm so bummed out!
Next up, Cedar Rapids. This is the comedy that The Hangover wishes it was. When a small-town insurance salesman, played by Ed Helms, goes out into the big bad world, he gets involved in some of the raunchiest stuff you can imagine, but at the same time, keeps his wonderful heart. I highly recommend Cedar Rapids. Also on this week's show is The Eagle. The Eagle is a fairly good film. It definitely looks good and it's well acted. It's a little lacking in a couple of the things that you would want, like for the two characters that are at the center of it, for you to actually care whether or not they get out of what they're doing, and for us to actually feel that they develop some sort of kindred friendship that I didn't exactly see. But it's good looking, it works okay. Mild recommendation for The Eagle.
Don't make me beat you up again!
Alright, last up on the show is Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2, Roderick Rules. This again is kind of like the last film. It's not a bad movie per se, but it's also not a good movie. You're not really missing anything by not seeing it if you already saw the first one. So if you want to rent this one for the kids, that would probably be okay. Mild recommendation for Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2. Alright, that's going to do it for our show this week. Be sure to tune in next week, where we'll have brand new reviews of Transformers Dark of the Moon and Larry Crown. Want more movies, reviews, and videos? Visit our website online at www.thankyufw.com. And as always, we thank you for watching.